There are distinct events that happened in the history of Kenya that challenged and addressed those in power. But there is this one event that happened in 1982 that not only challenged those in power, but also threatened to usurp the governance of President Moi. Yes, I am talking about the 1982 Kenyan coup d'etat attempt that fizzled to overthrow President Daniel Arap Moi's government. What made these four men to think, to plan, and to act hostile towards Moi, putting in mind that pre-1982, just 4 years after Mzee Jomo Kenyatta's death, President Moi used to be a diplomatic and a democratic president. Till this event that happened on the 1st of August 1982, that completely remodeled the leadership style of President Moi as to what we came to know until this day. This is the 1982 coup d'etat attempt. The masterminds of the 82 coup attempt were these four men: Senior Private Hezekiah Rabala Ochuka, Sergeant Pancras Otheo Kumu, Corporal Boramoel Njereman, and Corporal Walter Odira Ojorde. They were all ranking officers of the Kenyan Air Force. What made these four men plot to overthrow President Moi? It is still in question, but what we know is that Hezekiah Ochuka wanted to be president. He literally wrote on his desk, "The next president of Kenya." He lusted for power. This made him accept a proposal from Pancras Otheo to overthrow Moi's government. But there is a reasoning to show why they wanted to overthrow the government. Just 2 months before the coup attempt, the National Assembly amended the constitution, making Kenya a one-party state. And this might have made them feel that their ambitions of being in positions of power were thwarted right in front of their eyes. And so, they began recruiting fellow soldiers of the Air Force that would assist them in carrying out the coup. The information of the coup planning started leaking within the ranks of the Air Force, but it wasn't taken quite seriously. But the news reached the then head of the Directorate of the Kenya Security Intelligence, now known as the NIS, Sir James Kanyotu. James Kanyotu then went on to inform President Moi about the plot to overthrow him. This was on the 30th of July, just 2 days before the coup attempt was about to happen. Kanyotu asked President Moi to give him authorization to arrest all those who are planning to commit treason. But President Moi did not want to involve the National Intelligence Service into matters of the army. He decided to trust the intelligence system of the army to apprehend all those who are plotting the coup. And it was to be done on Monday, 2nd of August 1982. But that is not what happened. At the wee hours of Sunday 1st of August 1982, a group of soldiers from the Kenyan Air Force took over the Kenyan Air Force headquarters at Moi Air Base in Eastleigh. This was also followed by the taking over of the Laikipia Air Base in Nanyuki. By 6 a.m., Senior Private Hezekiah Ochuka, Sergeant Pancras Otheo, and close to 20 other soldiers seized the Voice of Kenya radio station and coerced a veteran broadcaster, Ronald Mamombotela, to blazon that the military had overthrown Moi's government.
This is the Voice of Kenya, Nairobi. Time now is 12 minutes past 6. You are hereby informed that everybody is requested to stay at home. There should be no movement in town. The government has now been taken over by the military until further notice. There should be no movement of persons or vehicles from one place to another. The police should now assume their role of civilian until further notice.
Over towards Nanyuki, the Laikipia Air Base that had also been seized, Corporal Boramoel Njereman was leading a plot to bomb State House and the GSU headquarters that was near the air base. Njereman duressed Major David Mutua, Captain John Mugwanja, and Captain John Baraza to fly 2 F-5 Tiger jets and a strike master that will be used for the mission. In a show of patriotism, the 3 pilots fooled their captors who held them at gunpoint by faking the bombings of the intended targets. The pilots communicated secretly on how they would disorient their captors who had never flown a jet by performing aviation aerobatic maneuvers that would apply tremendous G-forces on their bodies. The bombs that were intended for State House and the GSU headquarters were dumped in Mount Kenya forest at Illusion, the captors that State House had been bombed. Meanwhile, for President Moi, who was at his residence in Kabarak, Nakuru, after getting hold of what was happening, he telephoned the military leadership that was present in Nairobi. As the coup was taking place, most of the army units were carrying out military exercises in Lodwar, and it will take them hours to get to Nairobi to assist in defeating the rebel soldiers. Moi ordered Lieutenant General John Sawe, Major General Mohamud Mohammed to plan on how they would help him take back the leadership of the country. They assembled about 30 officers from the 1st Kenya Rifles Battalion and the Kahawa Barracks. The team first captured the Voice of Kenya broadcasting station and killed and captured the rebel soldiers. A lot of street fightings happened in the capital between the rebels and the army that put a lot of civilians in harm's way. Most of them were UON students. By evening of that day, all the bases that had been captured were back in control by Moi's government. The capital Nairobi was restored to order, prompting the remaining rebels to flee. The leader of the failed coup, Hezekiah Ochuka, fled to neighboring Tanzania so as he could escape justice. But with the help of the Tanzanian police, he was extradited, tried in a court-martial at the Army's Rangata barracks, and was found guilty of overt acts and sentenced to death by hanging in 1987. His fellow counterparts, together with other 12 people, faced the same consequences as Ochuka. They are the only people to have ever been executed under Kenyan law till this day. Over 900 people were jailed, some of whom were jailed for crimes they did not commit. Some prominent names, the likes of Ogiga Odinga and Raila Odinga, were mentioned during the trials as having financed the organizers, and they were subsequently put under house arrest. The failure of the coup was caused by the poor organization of the plotters. The rebel soldiers spent their time drinking and looting. They also lacked support from within the army, leaving them with no heavy arms to counter the counterattack. The failed coup left 300 people dead, civilians taking a huge toll. President Moi addressed the nation that night, condemning what had transpired.
Yale yaliyotokea leo asubuhi kwa muda mfupi iliyoletea wananchi wasiwasi mwingi, sasa imeangamizwa na jeshi letu la nchi kavu na polisi, na nawashukuru wao sana kwa juhudi zao za kuangamiza hao maharamia ambao waliweka wananchi katika hali ya wasiwasi. Nataka niseme kwamba mambo kama haya ambayo yalitukia ni watu au wanajeshi la angani ambao walijichukulia madaraka ya kuharibu yale yote tunayotaka kufanya.
He later disbanded the Kenyan Air Force. The events of 1st of August 1982 showed Moi that there were people who did not like his leadership, and they would go all the way to the point of planning to oust him. The message was loud and clear. Moi would go on to have a strong grip on power, ruling Kenya for 24 years.
Wanaozingatia kuongoza, musiweke Kenya chini. Musiweke msingi wa siasa zenu kwa chuki. Kama yuko mtu ametukana mimi, na msamehe. Na kama yuko mtu ambaye nimesema chochote ambaye kimeumiza roho yake, unisamehe.